For the first time in 2 years, it looks like a normal start to the semester at Colorado State, but at the health center, a nasty case of deja vu.
So here we go again.
Dr. Kathy Waller and her team coped with the COVID chaos. Now it's monkeypox they're preparing for.
Managing infectious disease outbreaks is part of what we do.
She says monkeypox is not as deadly or as contagious, so it poses less of a risk of disruption to campus compared to COVID, but anyone can get monkeypox. It's mostly spread by skin-to-skin contact.
We don't think that there's much risk of sitting in a classroom or going about your activities of daily living.
But on a crowded campus with kids and dorms and close contact, cases may pop up. Right now, the clinic can only test for the virus. The state health department doles out shots for students in campus pop-ups like this one.
The other thing that we learned from the COVID pandemic is how to do remote learning.
Infected students will need virtual class. Monkeypox can last for up to a month, and the CDC recommends isolating the entire time. That means colleges need solo rooms where students can stay.
We don't have a lot of extra rooms, but we do have some set aside.
Isolation, testing, and vaccines. It's the same story all over again for doctors and student health, but at least it's not COVID.
It's a change, so I think we're probably more tired of COVID.
I also spoke with representatives from CU Boulder, Denver University, and UNC in Greeley. They're all taking similar approaches, they say, with testing available at health centers, but not yet vaccinations. Another key emphasis is communicating with students so they know the risks and know how to avoid getting sick.
Do you think the idea that everyone has been through this drill already for a couple of years actually helps in some ways, that everyone kind of understands the concept?
I think it does help that everyone kind of understands the concept of how stuff spreads and isolation and contact tracing, but it's really interesting. One of the concerns that doctor had, one of her major concerns was that people have this fatigue, this public health fatigue at this point, and college kids might not listen to some of those recommendations.
Yeah, they're like, wah, wah, you know?
Exactly. Like,
but let's be honest, I mean, they're in tight quarters and oftentimes sharing bathrooms and things like that. And when you go to college, your first year, you tend to be a little lax.
Right, you're up close with a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
And so if the concern is that you aren't necessarily going to get it in class, if you're on those freshman dorms, that you're close with a lot of people in that environment.
Well, they've had to find rooms. That's what's interesting, the university. So at least they're prepared. They've had to find those individual isolation areas.
And they're trying to, but like at CSU, they said they have record enrollment this year. Everyone is bouncing back from the pandemic, so they got more students than ever. So how do you find that extra space to set aside rooms that you hope you don't need, but you have to have in case you do?
Is there a concern right now that they're just watching the clock, understanding that it is probably coming, when it will come, and what it will look like when it crests?
I think it's one of those things where it's, again, the first, right? The first kind of widespread monkeypox outbreak that we've had. They don't know. They don't know if they're going to have lots of cases, and they don't know that every university is going to have a lot of cases.
Well, we'll be following it as it does or doesn't evolve. We'll hope for the best and see if the preventative measures can take hold. Thanks, Cole.
That'll be the key.
All righty, thanks.